Hey guys, Oskar from GoPrimate here, and in this video we're going to show one of the best bodyweight exercises there is to build a wider back, wide grip pull-ups. Now pull-ups have been very misunderstood and people just think it's going up and down, as simple as that. But it's actually a few tiny adjustments you can make to make the exercise a lot harder and also getting better results from it, and of course remaining injury free in the long run. So if you follow the steps that are provided in this video, you're gonna notice it's gonna be a lot harder to perform your pull-ups, but you're also gonna notice you're gonna get way better results in terms of muscle gain and strength gain, and also maintaining your healthy shoulders in the long run. Additional to that, you're also going to learn a few different levels that you can adjust to. So instead of jumping straight off to the hardest version, you can choose a level that suits you best at your current fitness level, and that way you're going to be getting way better results than to jumping into a level that's going to be too hard for you to perform at the moment. The easiest version is going to be to perform this leg assisted. So you're going to hang directly underneath the rings in a squat position, and you're going to start off by pulling your shoulder blades down, but not all the way down to lock position like I'm doing here, and you don't either want to hang completely loose. Instead, you want to pull them down halfway like I'm showing you here, and from this position you can start to perform your repetitions. And you want to maintain this position with your shoulder blades throughout every single repetition. Now that you have your shoulder blades set in the right position, now it's time for you to focus on pulling with your elbows. By pulling with your elbows, you're going to be able to feel and target your lats a lot easier. And since we're doing wide grip pull-ups here, really focus on having your elbows travel on your sides and trying to pull your elbows to the back of your hips. When you follow these two tips provided, you're going to notice that your chest is rising first and that your chest is leading the movement, and that's exactly the way you want this to look like as well for best results. So at the very top position, you want your chest to stick out a little bit and really focus on squeezing your elbows behind your back. To get the most out of this exercise, you want to really focus on time under tension and having constant tension in your muscles when you perform every single repetition, because if you do this really fast with a lot of momentum, you might get a lot of repetitions, yes, but your body has no idea how many repetitions you're performing. It only responds to one thing, and that's tension. So make sure you perform every rep controlled with constant tension in your muscles, and that's how you're gonna get the most out of every single repetition. The beautiful thing with leg assisted pull-ups is that you can very easily adjust the difficulty by how much you're helping with your legs. So if you want to make this easier, you can go ahead and help more with your legs, and if you want to make this harder, go ahead and remove a little bit of weight from the legs and rely more on the upper body. You can also perform these on a straight bar, so on a chin-up bar if you can find one that's low enough. If you can't find one that's low enough, you can get a little bit creative and perform them on parallel dip bars instead, like I'm doing right here. Other than that, the technique points stay exactly the same as for the rings. The rings do, however, give you the flexibility to adjust the height if you don't have access to a chin-up bar or parallel dip bars. The most common mistake that beginners make when doing leg assisted pull-ups is that they lift up their hips like this. But this makes this more into a row, and we're doing pull-ups here. So you want to hang directly underneath the rings with your head in between your arms, and the movement is going to be straight up and down, just like as if you're doing a normal pull-up. Another really common mistake when doing pull-ups is the rounding of the upper back and the shoulders moving forward. This puts the shoulders in a very dangerous position, and to prevent this, just remember to keep those shoulder blades down throughout the whole movement and to lead the movement with your chest. And if you notice that your repetitions are getting really high and going above 15, then what you can do is to simply slow down the tempo. So you're gonna slow down the pause you have at the top, and you're also going to slow down the eccentric phase, so the phase when you lower yourself down. So on the way up you can come up a little bit faster, you have a longer pause at the top, and you lower yourself nice and slowly. And once the leg assisted chin-ups becomes too easy for you, the next natural step is to of course perform this with your full body weight. So you're gonna perform all these reps now without assisting with your legs. Instead you're gonna pull your full body weight up and down, and you're gonna notice it's going to be a lot harder this way. Other than that, all the same technique points stay exactly the same as before. You can also perform these without rings on a straight pull-up bar. To make the bodyweight pull-ups even harder, now we're gonna go ahead and slow down the tempo. So we're gonna have a longer pause at the top, and we're gonna lower ourselves a lot slower. Just by doing these two little adjustments here, you're going to notice it's going to be a lot harder to perform your repetitions, and your repetitions will naturally fall down by quite a lot just with this little tiny adjustment. And just to recap the most important things here, because I want you to get the most out of this exercise, and again the tiny adjustments make a huge difference. So the most important thing is to pull your shoulder blades down to the halfway point, so not all the way down, don't hang loose, but pull them to the halfway point. And number two, make sure you pull with your elbows. That's a really big thing. Like these two tiny things is gonna make a huge difference in your muscle development. And number three, which is kind of automatic, is to make sure you lead with your chest and avoid your shoulders rounding. So those three things, so shoulder blades down, number one. Number two is pull with your elbows, and number three, make sure you lead with your chest and avoid any rounding of the shoulders. So if you follow those three things, you're gonna get really good results. So with these different levels of difficulty when doing pull-ups, you want to remember that your body has no idea what level you're doing, because your body always responds to one thing, and that's tension. So the more accurately you can choose a level that suits you the best, the better you're going to be able to provide the right tension to your muscle that your muscles need to develop and grow. So if you jump into a level that's too hard for you at the moment, you might be able to do like a few reps, but most likely your technique is going to crash. You're not going to be able to use the right muscles in the right way to give the right tension to your muscles. So you're actually going to be getting worse results, even if you think that you will get better results, because you're doing a version that's harder for you. So in that case, go back to the easier version, get the technique right, make sure it's very clean, make sure you have the right time under tension, the right mind-muscle connection, constant tension in the muscles, and that way you're gonna get way better results, even though you're doing, the easier version. And I promise you, doing that, you're gonna have way better results in the long run. And be patient, because eventually you're gonna become stronger, and you're going to need to move on to the next level, and that's when it's appropriate to you. So don't rush into it, take the level where you're at the moment, and I promise you your results are going to be a lot better that way in the long run. And that's it for the wide grip pull-ups. Make sure you go and apply these technique principles into your own training. It's going to be a huge game changer for you. I know it was for me, and your results are going to be in a completely different level compared to the usual way of people doing pull-ups. Before you leave, make sure you go and subscribe to the channel for more bodyweight training tips. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy training.